So today I'll be dehydrating all of these Fatalii peppers. I'm just starting with a quick wash, and then I'm going to chop each pepper into 3 or 4 pieces to give it some more surface area for the dehydration. More surface area makes them dehydrate quicker with the air flowing around them. I actually picked all of these peppers from one plant, and you can see that plant in another video on my page, so if you're interested in growing peppers, check it out. But as you can see, I just spaced all of these slices of peppers out evenly on the dehydrator trays, trying to leave a little airspace between every slice, and here's what they look like before dehydrating them. With all of my trays loaded up and the lid on, the next step is just to set my dehydrator. I prefer to do it at 135 degrees for about 12 hours. And we can always adjust the time if needed, but 12 hours seems to be a good start for me. This process does release a little spiciness into the air, so if you're sensitive to that, you might want to do this in a garage or even outside. But here's how it looks about halfway through. The edges have crisped up some, but the bodies of the peppers are still very much hydrated. So we're going to let it continue to go and then take another look in about 6 more hours. Our 12 hours is now up, and as you can see, the peppers look much crispier and have continued to change color as they've dried out. There's a few things I like to do though, just to make sure that they're dry enough to crush into flakes that will be shelf stable. One of the things I like to do is just take my tongs and try to crush one. So I'll grab a bigger one here and then squeeze it and try to crush it, and we'll see if it flakes into nice pepper flakes. As you can see there, the inside did flake apart, but the outside shell of the pepper still has some plasticity to it and is somewhat bendable. Another easy way to tell if there's still some moisture in your peppers is just to get a toothpick, and then you can just poke the sides of some of the bigger slices. So as you can see, this one's still bending. If it was completely dehydrated, it would simply break under the pressure and not bend. So that bend there is telling me that these peppers need a little longer in the dehydrator. So I'm going to start with adding 2 more hours to the dehydration, still at 135 degrees Fahrenheit, and see if that gets us the rest of the way there. Our 2 hours are up, and these look much similar to how they did before the 2 hours, but I'm going to repeat my crush with the tongs test and toothpick test just to see if they have any residual moisture in them or if they're ready to crush. So coming in with my tongs here, I'm going to pick a bigger one to try to crush because the bigger ones will obviously take longer than the smaller ones. So if the bigger ones are good, I know I'm good on all the peppers. This one looks pretty nice, so I'm just going to squeeze it here. And as you can see, it kind of just shatters in half, which is really what we're looking for. Here's what a done one looks like with the toothpick test as well. I'm going to push on the middle of it, and as you can see, it just snaps clean in half. So I know I'm good to go, and now I'm just going to unload all of these peppers from the dehydrator and put them in a bowl to get them ready for crushing. And here's all of our Fatalii slices in a bowl. These look so pretty dehydrated. I know they're going to be great, and this is just such an easy way to store all of them until I'm ready to use them. To crush them though, I'm going to use this muddler stick I have. It's just a wood stick, and I'm just going to crush them until they're the size flakes that I like. Alternatively, you can put these in a food processor and crush them into flakes that way, but the stick is just so easy and kind of fun, so I enjoy doing it that way. Here's the flakes we end up with, and these are going to be great for pizzas, stir fries, or really any other food that we just want to spice up. I'll also maybe use some in marinades or put it in some chili. Another great thing is I can always rehydrate it to make sauce out of these later, but it's just such an easy way to store it. I like to put it in these little mason jars. They also make great gifts, and they'll stay on the shelf for a really long time since we got all that moisture out. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.